Okay, we're next going to look at unit rates. So unit rates are often called slope. Okay, they're also called gradient by the British. In early grades, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, it's called the constant of proportionality. They all mean the same thing, right? A unit rate is just the relationship between two things, right? We're used to miles per hour or miles per gallon or dollars per pound. Those are some of the common ones that we're used to seeing. Okay, the biggest help with unit rates is when we're looking at dimensional analysis. So dimensional analysis is simply looking at the dimensions or the units of something and analyzing them and how we can transform one to the other. So I want to show you the power of this. So we have 1/3 of a year, okay? And I want to get all the way over here, seconds. Well, what I can set up, and remember that we can treat units as variables. So if I want to cancel out years, I have to divide by years and go to months, but months don't have consistent days. So the next consistent thing after years is going to be days, right? You could argue that it's technically 365.25, but we're not going to get that technical here. Okay. And we know that there are 24. The next smallest is, so we want to cancel out days. There are 24 hours in a day, 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute. Now, if we look, year divided by year is going to give us 1. Days divided by days is going to give us 1. Hours divided by hours is going to give us 1. Minutes divided by minutes is going to give us 1. So the only unit we're left with is seconds. So from there, it's just the math. So it's 1/3 times 365 times 24 times 3,600. And that will give you the answer. So that is dimensional analysis. And I can't tell you how many times I've been saved by dimensional analysis, not knowing how to solve a problem, but knowing what units I started with and what units I needed to end with, and just kind of filling in the gaps from there. Okay. So here's some unit rate practice. Give this a shot and see what you can come up with. Actually, I'll do this first one with you. You can do the second one. Okay. So we've got 11 inches of wire cost 44 cents. Well, when we think about things that are charged dollar amount per something, right? So dollars per gallon, dollars per pound. So we probably want 44 cents per 11 inches. Okay, well, and we want to know, what does 39 inches cost? Well, if we multiply this by 39 inches, our inches are going to cancel out. We're going to be left with pennies. So you do 44 times 39 divided by 11, and you get 156 cents, or $1.56. Which again, if we use our sifter method and we do our gut check, we know 11 inches is 44 cents. So 3 times that amount gives us 33 inches, which is close to where we're at. 3 times 44 is going to be 132, roughly speaking. And that puts us in the ballpark. So we should feel pretty confident that that is our answer. Now, see if you can figure out Mary's, how many hours Mary would have to work. We're going to look at those two things in class. So let's look, last thing we're going to look at is percentages. Okay. So percentages, what you need to be able to do with percentages is you need to be able to convert fractions to percentages. You need to be able to convert decimals to percentages, and you need to be able to work the two of those backwards. Right? A percentage is just a fraction. It's just a measurement of a whole. Right? We're out of 100% is our whole. Okay. So fractions to percentages. If I missed 1/5 of the questions on the quiz, what is 1/5 as a percentage? Well, 1/5. And obviously, of course, put that into a calculator, but we can also multiply it by 2 and get 2/10. Well, 2/10 should sound like something. It's also 0.2. Well, 0.2, how many hundredths is that? 20, right? So it is 20%. So if you missed 1/5 of the questions on a quiz, you've missed 20%. Okay. Now, Mr. Raymond ate 3/4 of a pizza. What is left to me? Hopefully 3/4. How many quarters to $1? So 3/4 is how many cents? Well, 3/4 is going to be 75 cents. Well, since there are 100 cents in $1, 3/4 is 75%. So what percentage is left to me? Try 25%. I only get 1/4 of the pizza. Okay, so let's look at these. So percentages, it's out of 100. So 100, you're just going to move the decimal point 2. So your first one is going to be 48%. Second one's going to be 52%. And try the last two on your own and see what you get. So go ahead, pause the video here. Give yourself a couple minutes to do that. And when you're ready, press play. So 0.33 gives you 33%. And 200.2568 gives you 25.68%. You move decimal place 2 to the right. Okay, that's decimals to percentage. Percentage to decimal and fraction. So if something is 95% effective, so we have 95%. So as a decimal, that's 0.95. And then as a fraction, that's 95 out of 100. But remember, you have to simplify. So that gives you 19 out of 20. Okay. Try doing the 80% on your own and see what you can come up with. Okay, so what we looked at fractions, we looked at how to add and subtract, multiply and divide fractions, we looked at unit rates and what the ratios are, and then we looked at percentages. If you haven't finished Arithmetic in Khan Academy yet, make sure that's done. As of the filming of this video, which is August 31st, that's the only homework that I know of, but please make sure you check Canvas and you make sure you check Canvas to see if there are any changes or anything that has been added.